Here's the image of Pancho Villa that we shot a little bit earlier. What we want to do is make Pancho look as if he was out in the desert somewhere near the Rio Grande when we photographed him. So what we're going to do is select the background in back of him and delete it. The simplest way to select the background in this case would be using the magic wand. Of course, there are a number of tools that you could use to create a path around the image of the character, but the magic wand in this instance is going to go the fastest and it's the most easy to use. And my background is all one color, which allows me to use the magic wand and very quickly select all the areas that I want to delete in back of the character. Okay, I've got a selection and I've created a work path out of it so that selection can be saved and come back to later. Let's open up our image of the sky. And there's the sky that is in back of the beautiful Rio Grande. Let's do a Command All, select all, copy that file, minimize. We're going to come back to Pancho Villa here and paste that image of the sky into Pancho's layer there. Now you can see the outline of Pancho. How do we get him back? Well, we turn his layer into a layer by giving it a name. So it becomes from the background, it turns into a layer. Drag him above the layer of the sky. Go to the path. Turn the path into a selection. Come back to layers and hit the delete key. Up comes our sky. Hit a Command D and there we are. Now, of course, you can go in and clean up some of the edges here with various tools to make it look more natural against the sky. And that's a very simple matter. And I'll show you our final image of Pancho, a little bit more clean, a little bit more pleasing to the eye, and a little bit more natural against the background of the sky. And there's Pancho as he would appear, posing in front of the Rio Grande, charging his troops to do something terrible.
A lot of times photographers get hung up on the issue of quality with digital. Is it as good as film? That issue should just be dropped. It is as good as film. In fact, most manufacturers that make digital cameras or digital camera backs in a professional mode have got to the point of film, as long as you stay under a 40-inch by 40-inch or a 30-inch by 30-inch print. As long as your prints are anywhere below that, then it's pretty well equal right now. The question about digital cameras is not quality, but workflow. Why you'd want to get into digital is what happens when you remove the aspect of when you take a picture, it takes you a day or 3 days or 5 days to get the results back. What happens when you do not have to cut negatives and sort negatives and number the prints and put them into mats? What happens when that is removed? What happens to your sales when you have the ability to take a picture and then within 5 minutes the customer can walk into a preview room and view the results in extreme sharp detail quality in the same setting without having to get the people to come back and pick up the proofs? The concept of digital is not quality, it's workflow, okay? It's throughput. The concept of buying a word processor and doing your letters with it instead of a typewriter is not that you get a better, sharper letter. It's because you get a more workflow. You can download stuff from the internet. You can have somebody send you information on your email. You can work it into, as we call, repurposing information. It can be entered one time. You can have spell check. You can change fonts. Why do you use a word processor and not a typewriter? Not because it makes a better, sharper letter. It's because it's the workflow process. So if you want to know what digital is about, it's not about quality. That's good in film, it's good in digital. It's about what happens when you remove the time frame that film requires to get that quality. Digital will give you the same quality, but it'll give you instantly there at that time. So that's what digital is about, is what it will impact your business in the way you interface. You have fax machines. Why? Because of speed. You have word processors. Why? Because of speed. You have internet. Why? Because of speed. Everything's based on time in all other aspects of digital. But yet film, we keep thinking it's quality. Get away from that. It's not quality. It's workflow.